There's a mass protest underway to urge government to discontinue the trial of 53 Ghanaians who participated in the recent Anti-Gamalamsey protests. Citizens from all walks of life and various parts of the country are engaging in the three-day protest tagged Free the Citizens. My colleague Armstrong Gold Alogbe is covering the protest and has filed this report.
In demand of the release of some Democracy Hub protesters who have been arrested, and they are also demanding that the government ensure Galamsey is stopped. Many of them are from the University of Ghana, others also came willingly on their own. They've been marching from the Okonglo Lorry station and they are heading towards Independence Square. Let's talk to some of the conveners and find out how are the numbers encouraging?
Well, you know, today is the first day, right? And it's still, we take into consideration that today is a working day. So a lot of our colleagues are still going to join us during the march. But we are happy people turned up. We are happy and we are sure. What I can assure is on Saturday, we might not even be able to contain the numbers. We will need more because Saturday is a weekend. And therefore, people will be free to join as much as they want to. Exactly.
Zero. So let's get to know about your issues again. We know of two where you are demanding that the protesters be freed and also the issue of Galamsey be a thing of the past.
Yes, so I keep saying there are two main issues. The first and foremost is for Galamsey to stop now. This we have reiterated several times that the devastation that Galamsey is causing is beyond us. We cannot begin to fathom. We can't wait for the worst of the worst to happen to us. And the second issue is for our brothers and sisters who have been arrested and detained by the police to be freed. And that is what we are protesting.
But so far, how will you describe the protest so far?
You can see for yourself. I mean, the euphoria is high and people are serious. It's all about Ghana. No groups, no political parties, nothing. We are fighting for our motherland because whatever happens here happens to you and I and our unborn children.
So, what's your name? What's the name again?
Camry Table.
Camry Table. So that is Camry Table, one of the conveners. Let's talk to some of the other protesters. And let's talk to this young lady. Madam, how are you? So where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Kaswa.
You're coming from where?
Kaswa.
Okay, we are coming from Kaswa.
Yeah.
And you joined the protest?
Yes.
What's your motivation?
Because there was somebody being polluted with heavy metals. And when you look at the effects of heavy metals, it's very dangerous. If someone gets kidney disease, that is very expensive in Ghana. So looking at all that, it doesn't really make sense that up to now they haven't stopped Galamsey. And then this is why we were arrested for the last protest. It's a infringe upon their rights because where people have been allowed to run about, and these people who are protecting Ghana's resources have been arrested.
So you want them to be released as well?
Yes, they should be released immediately because it's not fair at all to sleep in the prison for 1 week for fighting for the country's resources. It's very bad. It's very bad. As a democratic country, it's very, very bad.
Vero, thank you so much. What's your name?
Delali.
Let me talk to you. So, madam, how are you? So, why did you join the protest? Tell me your life on it.
Just to stop Galamsey.
You want Galamsey to be stopped?
Yes, and also free rap.
Okay, so let me pause. Why did you join? Okay, he will not talk to me. Let me talk to a few more of the other protesters. Madam, how are you? Okay, so this is a protest demanding for the release of the Democracy Hub protesters that have been arrested and remanded in police custody. Let me talk to a few of the protesters. Madam, why did you join the protest? Okay, you will talk. Madam boss, why did you join the protest?
It be too much, it be too much. It be too much. When our poppies they suffer, for a village, we dey city, it no affect city yet. The time go affect city, as well immediately we go enter here. The police go join we, the armies go join we. Them now, them are politician people. Them now go join we. No, it be too much.
It be too much.
We no be NDC, we no be NPP, we no be APC, we no be any 12 political party. Time we could talk the truth. They all make we see what Kenya do before we go retaliate. No, Kenya will be peaceful people. Police officer, young people, I be young, let me young, look at me young. We dey pray for our future, not be them our future. You go come focus on we, not them. Also,
thank you so much. Let me talk to others now. How are you? So why do you also join the protest?
Yeah, I'm just here to chill, man.
So he's here to chill.
I'm just here to chill.
But how's it going so far?
Yeah,
Why are you
so
going to
far,
protest?
Yeah, I joined because I want the illegal mining to stop in the country. That is why I joined. I want our river to be clean, colorless like this. That's why I joined. I want our forest reserve to be preserved. That's why I joined. I want our leaders to take action. That's why I joined.
So he wants our leaders to take action, and these are few of the protesters speaking to us in here. The walk just started, and we are going all the way to the Independence Square, quite a distance from the Okponglo lorry station to the Independence Square. Is not an easy walk, but the message is clear. They want Galamsey to end, and also for the protesters who have been arrested and remanded in police custody. I can see some.
Let's join Armstrong now, who's live with the protesters. Joseph, where are the protesters now?
Currently, we are approaching the Kaukudi Junction, where it's been more than at least some 5 kilometers walk already, and we are heading all the way to the Independence Square. So as right now, we are just a few meters away from the Kaukudi intersection, where you could see the protesters happily, slowly marching towards the Kaukudi intersection happening.
I see. What is the point for protesters when they get to the Independence Square?
Sorry, Kamini.
I'm asking, what is the plan for the protesters when they arrive at the Independence Square?
So, Kamini, the plan is for them to get there, convey there, and then also bring some messages and also present a petition to any of the government officials that could meet over there. And they'll continue from there, they'll disperse and continue tomorrow as well as Saturday. It's a 3-day protest. The main protest is actually going to happen on Saturday, where they are expected to have at least not less than 10,000 people on the streets. Because according to them, today being a working day, it's obvious they're not going to get so many.
I see. But Joseph, tell us, what has police interaction with protesters been like today?
So for the protesters, they are saying that today being working day, it's normal that the numbers will not be so large. But even so, some of them have also expressed light about the numbers they've been able to gather on the street now. But for them, one issue is key to them, that their message about Galamsey ending is the main focus of this protest, where you see this young man, for instance, they are threatening mining profits, national prices, and then the police respect order from above more than the human rights. So a few of these placards, you could see this one, so leaves, mercury, crops, and many of these protests have been very successful and peaceful so far as it stands right now. And all of the young ones here, I can see some very young ones as young as 17 years, all taking part in this protest, many of them being university students from the University of Ghana, and others also came on their own, the right from 55. The numbers keep increasing from time to time. We started with a very small number, but the numbers seem increasing as we protest. Earlier, many of them were of the view that the police, look at the numbers, about 5,000 police officers we are told have been deployed. They thought the police were coming to pick them up. But as the protests keep moving and the policemen, you can see they've been lined up along the roadside where they get to the line up so that it's not scared of their lane. And they have their private or internal security. I mean, the protesters, they have their own security, which is where if you want to stop them or you want to misbehave or divert from the routes, they will pick you up and hand you over to the police themselves. But as it stands right now, they are hopeful that in subsequent protests, which is tomorrow and Saturday, they will have large numbers. But their message is very clear. Release the protesters that were picked up about a week ago, and also the government must hit to the floor for them to stop.
Very well.
Say that has destroyed water bodies particularly in the rural communities, Kevin.
Indeed, thank you so much, Joseph. Joseph Armstrong there with the protesters who are now marching to the Independence Square.
Well, some of the detained anti-Galamsey protesters have been writing in support of the protests and sharing some details about the plight of those in detention and the possibility of their innocence. Let's walk you through what they've been saying from custody as they've been, and we've been telling you how even a push by their lawyers to have bail granted them has hit a snag, and they are to make that appearance in the High Court on the 7th of October. We provided you those details. Here's what they've been telling us. Felicity Nelson and then Eloma Bebio, that's their handwriting from detention where they were picked up by the police 2 weeks or a week ago for protesting and demanding an end to illegal mining and the destruction of the country's lands, forest cover and water bodies. And so this is what they've been writing. Let's try and get you a sense of exactly what they've been saying. And this one by Eloma Bebio, 26-year-old lawyer. A lot of you remember videos of her on social media with the handcuffs on and all of that. She says, Nkrumah smiles at timidity, wails in the face of the resilience demonstrated by the historic and remarkable protest. Today, Ghana youth arises and not only recommits to the struggle begun by our foremothers and fathers, but have reignited the long-lost hope of realizing Nkrumah's Ghana. A great day it is indeed, for a new dawn is upon us. That's Eloma Bebio. Many of you know her as Ama Governor. That's her writing from detention. And then Felicity Nelson as well. She penned nearly 2 pages scribbling on what is a writing pad, really. And she recounts the story of one of the other protesters who were picked up. Let's walk really through what she's been saying. Now, she says that when she was arrested by the police, there was a man who was also arrested. Now, this man's wife had just given birth at the 37 military hospital, and he had been given a bail of 2,400. He only had 1,600 on him as a person, so he stepped out to charge his phone at the 37 Trotro station to see if he could ask some friends or family for the rest of the money to top up so his wife could be discharged. It's a bit more in relation to that. So it says that whilst waiting for his phone to charge, he came to buy some coconut from a vendor near me. While I was being arrested, he was also arrested. When we were all rounded up, he pleaded that 2 police officers follow him into the hospital to confirm that his wife was actually on admission. All his pleas fell on deaf ears. He was also bundled into the police van. He was also remanded until the 8th of October, and she asked the question, this could have happened to anyone. Is this just? What kind of country are we living in? He was begging to call his wife to let her know he has been arrested. His request was denied. And so these and more really detail the stories of the 53 who've been in custody. And you will recall some of them detailing how they've had to be on their knees for over 12 hours because of a lack of space in the police cells and the prison cells where they've been locked up until October 8, some October 9, some October 10. That is their harrowing story. Right now, it's time for Ghana Remembers.